10 items in a crew cabin cost less than $5 each and solve problems passengers pay $90 to fix on board. I watched guest services process bills for things a $2 item could have prevented. This is not a packing list, it is what crew actually buy, because they know what the ship will not give you free. Today, we are counting down the 10 cheapest items that beat luxury gear, from good to the one that could save your vacation. Starting at number 10, plastic clothespins. This one seems boring compared to the rest of this list, but stick with it, because it solves a problem almost every single cruiser complains about without realizing the fix costs less than a candy bar. A pack of 20 costs about $2 at any big box store, sometimes less at a dollar store. On a cruise, your bathroom has maybe one towel rail and almost zero airflow, especially in an inside cabin with no window and no balcony door to crack open. Wet swimsuits and towels sit there for days, trapped in humid air, and that's when your cabin starts smelling musty. Passengers assume it's housekeeping's fault. It almost never is. The smell is coming from your own gear that never had a chance to actually dry. Crew deal with the same cramped space in their own cabins, so they clip wet items to hanger rods, closet bars, even the edge of a desk, anywhere air is actually moving instead of sitting stagnant. Within a few hours, the smell is gone and the item is dry. Cruise gift shops and online cruise accessory stores sell branded travel clothes lines and collapsible drying racks for $15 to $25, marketed specifically for tight cabins. A $2 pack of plastic clips does the exact same job. Buy a dozen before you leave, clip 2 or 3 items at a time across the closet rod, and rotate them daily, and you'll never deal with a musty towel again for the rest of the cruise. That solves your cabin's air quality. The next one solves your wallet. Number 9, a small notepad and pen. Most passengers track spending purely from memory, which works fine for the first 2 days and completely falls apart by day 5, when the drinks, the specialty dinners, and the spa treatments all blur together. This runs about $1.50, and it sounds almost too simple to make a real list like this. Until you're standing in a billing dispute line on the final night with 300 other passengers trying to remember exactly what you ordered on day 2. Guest services staff have a trick they rarely mention out loud. Ask for a printed statement on day 3, then again on day 5. It takes them about 90 seconds to print, and it lets you catch billing errors while there's still time to dispute them calmly, instead of during a chaotic scramble while you're also packing your suitcase and stressing about your flight home. If you've been jotting down your bar tab, your specialty dining upcharge, and your excursion payment times in a cheap notepad, that dispute takes about 4 minutes. Without notes, it can take 40 minutes of arguing over memory, and you often lose because you can't prove your case to a tired staff member handling 100 other disputes that same night. There's also a specific word that changes how staff respond. Ask for an itemized receipt, not just a printout. That word prompts them to pull the full breakdown instead of a summary that glosses over the problem charge, and it signals you already know how the system works. Your wallet's covered now. Let's protect what's in your actual pocket. Number 8. Quart-size resealable plastic bags. This is the item crew say they replace the most often in their own kits. Simply because it's so useful, they burn through a box faster than they expect every single contract. A box of 20 costs about $3. Your key card looks disposable, but losing it isn't. It's essentially a thin piece of plastic with a chip, and it goes everywhere with you: the pool deck, the beach, wet tender boats bouncing across choppy water toward a port you've been looking forward to for months. Drop it in the ocean or the pool, and you're either paying a reissue fee or losing an hour standing at guest services on embarkation day, exactly when the line is longest and everyone else is also checking in at the same time. A sealed bag keeps your card, your cash, your passport photocopy, and any medication completely dry without you thinking about it twice. It also works as a makeshift wallet if your actual wallet gets soaked at the beach and you still need to buy a drink or a souvenir. Cruise accessory shops and travel sites sell waterproof card holders and lanyard pouches for $8 to $15 for this exact single function. The bag, sitting in your kitchen drawer right now, does the identical job for a fraction of a cent per bag, and you can grab 5 without even opening your wallet. Cards protected. Now let's talk about what happens when your luggage doesn't cooperate on the way home. Number 7. Gallon-size freezer bags. Passengers almost never think about the trip home while they're still enjoying the trip there, which is exactly why this item gets overlooked until it's too late to buy one in port. Slightly bigger and tougher than the quart bags, running about $4 a box. These matter most on the return trip, not the departure. You bought hot sauce in one port and a bottle of rum in another, maybe some sandy shoes you're not proud of packing next to your clean shirts. One leak in transit doesn't just ruin that item, it ruins everything else, touching it in the suitcase. Sometimes an entire layer of clean clothes you were planning to wear again before laundry day. Freezer bags let you separate wet items, dirty laundry, and anything liquid from the rest of your bag, so nothing bleeds into anything else during the flight or drive home. Travel blogs constantly push packing cubes and compression sacks for $15 to $40 specifically for organization and leak control, and they work fine, but they solve a different problem than an actual leak. A $4 box of freezer bags handles both leak containment and separation just as effectively, and unlike packing cubes, it packs completely flat when you're not using it, so it costs you 0 suitcase space on the way there and only takes up room on the way back, exactly when you need it. Your suitcase is safe both ways. Let's talk about your skin next. Number 6. Safety pins. If you only remember one item from this entire video, crew will tell you it should probably be this one, simply because of how many completely different problems it quietly solves. A pack of 20 costs about $2, making it the cheapest item on this entire list and arguably the most emotional. One crew member described a woman crying at the guest services desk on formal night because her dress strap had just torn minutes before dinner, and she had nothing in her cabin to fix it with. The gift shop wanted $12 for a sewing kit, and she genuinely didn't have the 15 minutes it would have taken to thread a needle properly before the dining room closed its doors. A single borrowed safety pin fixed the strap in under a minute, invisible under the fabric, and she made it to dinner on time with her photos intact. But wardrobe emergencies are just the start. Pins fix a popped trouser button right before a formal dinner, a snap backpack strap halfway through a shore excursion, even a broken bra strap that would otherwise ruin your whole day at the beach. And here's the one nobody expects. You can pin your cabin's blackout curtains together in the middle, closing the small gap that lets hallway light leak in at 2 in the morning and wake you up hours before your alarm. One $2 item, 4 completely unrelated emergencies solved, all without visiting a single onboard shop or waiting for a repair. That covers wardrobe disasters. Here's the item for your skin. Number 5, travel-size baby powder or plain cornstarch. This is one of those items that sounds almost too simple to matter, right up until the second afternoon of a hot port day, when you finally understand exactly why crew never leave home without it. About $3 for a small travel bottle. Walking around hot, humid ports for 6 or 8 hours straight causes thigh and skin chafing that most first-time cruisers genuinely don't see coming until it's already painful and it's too late to prevent, usually somewhere around hour 4 of a walking tour. The ship's spa sells a comfort balm specifically marketed for treating this kind of irritation, priced around $38 for a small tube that barely lasts the week. The problem with buying it after the fact is that it treats damage that's already happened, when the skin is already raw and uncomfortable. Powder applied before you head out in the morning prevents the friction from becoming a problem at all, which is a completely different and far more effective approach. It's not a cure, it's prevention, and prevention is the entire point of packing it in the first place. Dust it on your inner thighs before a long port day involving walking tours or hiking excursions. Reapply after lunch if you're still out, and you skip the entire afternoon of walking uncomfortably back to the ship, wondering why you didn't think of this sooner. Skin handled before it becomes a problem. Now let's fix what's happening inside your body. Number 4. Individual electrolyte powder packets. Out of everything on this list, this is the one crews say they personally restock the most, especially before Caribbean and Mediterranean sailings where the heat catches new cruisers off guard. A box of 10 runs about $4 to $5 at most pharmacies or big box stores. Dehydration headaches are one of the single most common minor complaints crews see at the medical center, especially in the first 3 days of a hot weather itinerary when passengers are drinking cocktails in direct sun and simply forgetting to drink enough plain water between drinks. The ship's medical center charges $15 to $25 for a basic wellness visit for exactly this issue, and the visit often ends with the nurse handing you guessed it, a single electrolyte packet along with the advice to drink more water and rest in your cabin. Pack your own box before you leave. Mix one into a water bottle the moment you feel that first dull headache starting, and you have solved the problem before it ever becomes a medical center line item on your final bill, and before it costs you an afternoon lying in your cabin instead of at the pool. This is genuinely one of the highest value items on this entire list, because dehydration compounds fast in heat and humidity most passengers simply aren't used to at home. That's your body covered before it becomes a bill. Now let's talk about staying out of the medical center entirely. Number 3. Travel size hand sanitizer. This climbs to the top 3 not because it's exciting, but because of what it actually prevents. And prevention on a cruise ship matters more than almost anywhere else you'll travel. A 2-pack costs about $2 to $3. Thousands of passengers touch the exact same railings, elevator buttons, casino chips, and buffet serving utensils every single day of the cruise, and that shared contact is exactly how minor stomach bugs spread across an entire ship within 72 hours of the first case. Crew sanitize constantly as part of mandatory training before and after every shift, and their documented illness rates stay dramatically lower than passenger illness rates on the same sailing, sometimes by a factor of 20 or more across an entire week at sea. Sanitizer isn't a guarantee against anything serious like norovirus, and no cheap item ever will be, but it meaningfully lowers your odds of catching the kind of minor bug that wipes out 2 full days of a 7-day vacation you spent thousands of dollars and months of planning on. Keep a small bottle in your pocket or bag at all times. Use it before every meal and after every railing or elevator button you touch, and you're simply doing what crew already do automatically without a second thought about it. Your health is protected. Now for the item that could genuinely save the whole trip. Number 2. A small LED flashlight or keychain light. This nearly took the top spot, and once you hear the reasoning, you will probably agree it deserves to be this close to number 1. About $3 to $4 for a basic model. Cruise cabins get completely genuinely dark at night, There is no street light glow through the curtains, no hallway light leaking under the door, nothing at all once the lights go off. If the power ever goes out, even briefly during a storm or a technical issue somewhere in the ship, that darkness becomes a real, physical hazard, especially when you are half asleep and trying to navigate a step down into the bathroom you've only used a handful of times. One passenger fell in her dark cabin during a temporary power outage and broke her wrist, effectively ending her vacation on day 2 with a trip to the medical center and a very different rest of the week than she had planned and paid for. A $3 or $4 flashlight kept next to your pillow means you are never fumbling for your phone in pitch darkness, draining its battery in the process, or risking a fall you genuinely cannot undo once it happens on a moving ship. This is the safety item almost nobody packs until something has already gone wrong once, usually on someone else's cruise first. That's a real injury prevented for less than the price of a coffee. But number 1 solves the worst-case scenario of the entire list. Number 1. Duct tape, or heavy packing tape. Everything on this list so far has saved passengers money, comfort, or a bit of stress. This last one has actually saved entire vacations outright, which is exactly why it earns the top spot. About $3 to $4 a roll, and this is the single most versatile item here, which is exactly why it's number 1. A passenger's CPAP hose was crushed inside checked luggage during the flight to embarkation, snapped clean at a joint that couldn't be reattached by hand. The ship's medical staff couldn't repair it, and replacement parts obviously weren't available anywhere on board, in the gift shop or otherwise. He was seriously planning to disembark early at the next port and fly home, ending his entire cruise and the vacation his family had planned for over a year, all over one broken hose. A crew member taped the crack together using ordinary packing tape, wrapping it tightly enough to hold a seal. It held for the remaining 7 days of the sailing without failing once, letting him sleep normally for the rest of the week. That's the entire difference between a $3 roll of tape and losing a vacation that cost thousands of dollars to book and plan. Beyond medical equipment emergencies, the same roll fixes broken suitcase zippers on travel day, peeling shoe soles halfway through a shore excursion, frayed phone charger cables that stop working at the worst moment, and rattling cabin doors that keep you up at night every time someone walks past in the hallway. Crew treat a roll of tape the way most people treat a first aid kit, as the default first move for literally anything that breaks unexpectedly on board. Like and subscribe for more.